Okay, so this should be your final video that you'll have to watch, but this this one is really introducing the tasks that we would like you to have done or work on before you come to lab next week. Okay, so your lab week 4, February 4th or 8th, we do have a little bit of homework for you, but it should be fun homework if you take it with the engagement that I think most students would as well. We're putting you into a situation where we're trying to model something that you would do with your own students, okay? So not that we would have adults running all over the place taking some pictures and things, but I think with children you do. You want them because they have control over that content. So why the picture taking tips? I don't know if everybody knows this guy, but his name is Flat Stanley, and it's actually a book. Flat Stanley is known far and wide, and usually people take him on trips with them, or the idea is, where do you see Flat Stanley? And you give Flat Stanley to someone. If they're going to the Grand Canyon, they can take Flat Stanley, take a picture of him, and it's kind of that idea that we document the adventures, okay? And so there's pictures all over the internet of Flat Stanley everywhere. But how kids engage in this kind of an activity is how they get to know where the Liberty Bell is. It's geography, it's just personalization, communication, those kinds of things. So a lot of fun things can happen from just a simple idea of giving someone a paper cutout of something and letting them take them on a journey or whatever else that you want to do with. Let your own imagination go on this one. So we're going to kind of take a little bit of a slant on Flat Stanley, and we're going to look at the book, Brown Bear, What Do You See? So those of you, especially in ECE, should be very familiar with this book, but any of us in elementary education know Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carle, and the wonderful work that they did together in this pattern book. This is a pattern book where in lab you'll get to read the entire book, but it's more Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And then the next page would be red bird, what do you see? I see a whatever looking at me. Okay, it's always a color word and then some kind of an animal. Okay, well, this seminal picture book, I would call, has been with us for over 50 years now, and children, young and old, still like this book. Okay, so the pattern of it, and what does that help us with? It helps us with children, having them read, having them, learning how to read, those kinds of things. So how can we do projects like this with technology? Well, we can't, because of copyright, we can't do Brown Bear, right? Because that wouldn't be appropriate. But we can take those ideas and then create something similar. Not total replication, but modeling from again, seminal picture book. So our idea is we're going to do something with Sci. We're going to bolster our reputation at Iowa State and let you guys have some fun with Sci. So our idea here is, and you could do it different ways, but red Sci, what do you see? And then you're going to have to take a picture of Sci with whatever that is. It doesn't have to be an animal, it doesn't have to be a living thing, okay? But you're going to, I see a crystal icicle looking at me. And then you would place Cy by an icicle or a snowdrift or whatever pictures you can find around you, okay? It can be inside, outside, whatever, okay? So you're going to be using that in that manner. Now, along with this, and I just kind of brought this up, hopefully you can still see that. We have put 2 handouts at the bottom. I put links to 2 handouts here, and you can use either one of them. One's just a coloring page, so kids' coloring page. They color Cy or whatever. Again, we're using a Cy because of Iowa State. But you can use this one and color it. If you don't, cut them out, and then you have to take Cy with some pictures. If you don't want to color them, I've got one already colored. Just cut them out. Some of you might have, I think I have them here. I'll just get them out of my office here. If you have a stuffed Cy, you can use him. You don't have to use the flat Cy, okay? That's up to you on how you would like to do that. But you don't even, what you'll do in lab is you'll write the story, okay? So you just want to, before you go to lab, take the pictures, okay? Try to take as many pictures as you can. So what is your assignment? What is your preparation for lab next week, okay? Color and cut outside, or just cut outside, whichever one you want. Take Cy pictures. I would say take 10 or 20 or more, okay? With digital, with your phone and those kinds of things. Today you can take 50 if you want. You won't want to do that, but apply picture taking tips where you can. Remember, move it from the middle in the rule of thirds. Move it in close. Interesting angles, horizontal, vertical, okay? Think of those things as you take some of your pictures, okay? Then what we would like you to do is put your Cy pictures that you take, get them off your phone. I'm going to think that most of you will take them on your phone, and put them into a Cy box, into your 201 Cy box folder. So I believe the first week in class, you created a Cy box folder. Just create a new one, Cy pictures, Cy images, and put them all in there. And then you're going to be in great shape for lab next week, okay? Then the last thing, to make your book, you're going to use a program called Story Jumper, okay? So I want you to access Story Jumper, okay, and just sign up for an account. Please remember what you use for your username, password, all of that. It's a free account. It won't cost you any money. Again, it's a good example of, a technology that you can use in this manner. And then that's all you have to do. If you have these things done before you go to your lab next week, you're going to be in great shape, and you should be able to finish your assignment for next week in lab, unless you want to do something extraordinary or whatever that might take you a little bit more time. But one thing that I do know, I know that you're going to enjoy this, okay? Have fun with it. Be creative. Be innovative. Think of it in terms of, okay, how could I replicate? How could I do something? What are ideas that you have for doing these same ideas of images, and then putting those images into some kind of a mechanism, this case Story Jumper, to produce a student project? And then what do they learn as a result? Okay? So that's where we are, and if you get through this material, I think you're going to be in great shape for next week. So again, hopefully everybody, you're staying safe, you're staying warm, and we look forward to reconnecting with you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.